3, 2, 1. All right, welcome everyone to a special Friday edition of Ringside Reporter Podcast. My name is Eric Lorta. I'm here with my co-host Joe Habib, and we're going to preview the Canelo versus Jacobs fight here. We just got done with the weigh-in. Beeb, this weigh-in started at like 4:30. Now, I read that it was supposed to begin at 3.
They're usually at 3, yeah.
Yeah, I read it was supposed to be at 3, and then I read it was going to be at 4:30. It didn't look like anybody had trouble making weight. Anybody in the main events had trouble making weight.
No.
But, I mean, Jacobs came in at, 160 on the nose?
Yep.
And Canelo was at 159.5. Canelo looked good. I thought Canelo looked really good. Jacobs looked a little drawn in his face. Now, I don't know if that's his normal look for weigh-ins. I don't know, but he did look a little drawn. Canelo looked really good, though. I thought he looked really solid. I thought he looked really good.
I think Jacobs, to be honest with you, he always comes in shape.
Yeah.
But he looked razor sharp to me. He looked like really, really defined. He looked good. To me, he looked like very well conditioned physically. Obviously, we don't know if that's going to translate into the ring, but it most likely should, because he's always been in great shape. And he's never shown stamina issues in a fight. He's always, fought a pretty busy fight and a pretty solid fight from rounds 1 through 12. He's never really faded in the fight. So we have to suspect that he should be in phenomenal shape tomorrow. But let's see how he holds up to that body attack. I don't think he's ever been under a body attack that he's going to be under tomorrow night. I think that's going to really tell the story. So let's see how that plays. And also, he said that he did the 10-day IBF weigh-in for his last fight. But to me, I thought he lost that fight. And he said it didn't affect him. I'm not saying it did or it didn't, but I'm going to be honest. That wasn't one of his better performances, in my opinion. I don't think he did horrible, but I thought he lost the fight. I think Derenchenko really had some great moments in that fight, and he landed some good shots, and he actually got inside of Jacobs, and he was grinding it out with him. And I thought he pushed Jacobs back a little bit, and Jacobs looked a little bit uncomfortable in spots in that fight. So it's going to be interesting to see, because when you're cutting and you're trying to make weight, one of the side effects is irritability, and he just had a look on his face like he was upset. He was upset and he was irritable. So I don't know if that had anything to do with the weigh-in. I don't know if that had anything to do with the stress, the pressure of the situation, and I don't know if that had anything to do with him saying to himself, "I gotta watch how much I eat tonight, because I can only put on 10 pounds." Where normally he would want to go and probably eat more than what he is going to be able to eat tomorrow, or tonight, I should say, for tomorrow's next day weigh-in. So he can say what he wants. He did it for his last fight, and it's not a big deal. But I actually think it is a bigger deal than he's leading on, because you can see his frame up against Canelo's frame. He's a much bigger person than Canelo. He's just a bigger guy. So this is definitely going to be a disadvantage to him this second day weigh-in tomorrow. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything. I mean, it is what it is. Canelo is the A side. He has every right to get as much leverage as he can. I don't blame him. Other fighters have done it. Manny Pacquiao's done it. Floyd Mayweather's done it. So, people that have this position, they're going to utilize it and they're going to take advantage of it. But a little bit irritable, looked upset. I don't know if he was pissed off because the crowd was against him. I don't know if it was because of, like I said, he had to try to make weight. And I also think that this next day weigh-in, only being able to put on 10 pounds, maybe for him to be at his best, it would be better for him to put on 15 pounds tonight and not have to wake up early, like 9 in the morning, for another weigh-in. So I just don't think that this is advantageous for him having this stipulation into the contract.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that Jacobs looked he looked like he normally does, and I think what set him off at the weigh-in is Canelo came face to face with him, put his forehead on his forehead, and nudged him back. And listen, man, in the UFC they have you're not supposed to touch anybody, during the face-offs and the weigh-ins. That's the first thing Dana says. Don't touch each other. Don't touch each other. And they really have to watch it when they get in there close. But I tell you, man, I would have been irritated too if somebody, listen, man, you're trying to cut weight, you're irritable already, you're dehydrated somewhat, and you're hungry. You just want to get out of there. This weigh-in really should have taken place, and they all should start taking place earlier in the day. I understand what they're doing and everything like that, but they should really start taking place earlier in the day. Waiting this long. I mean, what was it? 6:30, so it was 3:30 technically their time. That's a long time. That's a long time to wait. You're waiting all day until the weigh-in,
Well, maybe.
But that being said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Maybe he was upset about the change in time, but I have to disagree with you slightly, and I respectfully have to disagree with you here. I thought Jacobs was the one that initiated the headbutt, it looked like to me.
He may have initiated the headbutt, but Canelo was the one that came over there and just put his head right on his head, it looked like to me.
Oh, I see. To me, I felt as though Jacobs made contact first.
I thought Canelo made contact first.
I could be wrong, but I watched it a few times, and I thought Jacobs was the one that kind of got in Canelo's space first, in my opinion. That's what I thought.
Okay.
But again, you could be right, and I could be wrong here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I thought, like I said, man, but Jacobs, I mean, that was as animated as I've ever seen Danny Jacobs. That's for sure.
Yeah, Chakal says Jacobs initiated.
Oh, yeah, Chakal says it. Okay. I sound like Abel Sanchez. What am I clamoring for more money? Is that what I'm doing? Is that how I sound like Abel?
We just gave you a raise over here at Beeb Industries.
That's right, I know. Beeb Industries has been very generous.
We bumped you up. We already bumped you up.
That was brutal.
We gave you a 7%. We were only contracted to give you 2.5. We gave you 7.
That's because I do such a great job.
Lois only got 3.
Oh, Lois.
She only got 3%.
She got 3 psi, 3 pounds of air.
Enough with that. She doesn't like it. She's got emotion. She's human.
And also completely imaginary. So.
Oh my God, that's horrible. You say that about her. She's real. Lois, it's okay, Lois. Don't, Lois. Don't, Lois. She's gonna give her 2 weeks' notice now because of you.
Oh my goodness. Like I said, though, I thought that, like I said, it was the most animated I've seen Jacobs in a long time ever. And I saw him at the Triple G weigh-ins and everything like that. And he wasn't that animated. He wasn't, out of his shell. Why is it, though? Notorious kind of hit it on the head in the chat here in one of his first comments. He said that Daniel Jacobs has absolutely zero chance in winning this fight. And I think that, what's funny about that whole statement is, number one, I disagree with you. But number two, Danny Jacobs, when he fought Peter Quillen.
Yep.
Did anybody take Jacobs?
No, I took Quillen. I took Quillen in that fight.
I took Quillen too. Nobody took Jacobs. Jacobs and Triple G. The only one I know that took Jacobs was me. And I thought he won the fight. I remember, like I said, man, being on press row in New York, and everybody asking me who I picked before the fight started. I said, I'm taking Jacobs, and they all looked at me I had like 6 heads.
I picked Jacobs too.
Yeah,
Me, I think Robbie picked Golovkin.
Yeah, well, Robert's going to pick Golovkin.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no doubt in my mind that I thought Jacobs won. The fight was close, but I just thought Jacobs won that fight.
I thought he did too.
I feel very comfortable in saying I think Jacobs won that fight.
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought he finished so strong in that fight.
Yeah, I did too, man. I thought, like I said, man, I thought he did great. I really did. I thought he did very well in that fight. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, nobody gives Jacobs a chance in any of his big fights.
Well,
and listen, man, he's a good fighter.
The big problem for him in this fight, there's 2 things that, for me, stand out. that I think are going to be really problematic for Jacobs, and I think it's going to nullify a lot of things that he does. Canelo has really, really, really turned into a very good inside fighter, number one. And number two, his counter-punching is impeccable now. His reflexes, his timing, his instincts have improved immensely. And the thing about him, as opposed to Triple G, is he just has faster hands than Triple G. So when he gets inside, he's going to put the shots together a little bit more fluidly, number one. And number two, Triple G doesn't have his counter-punching abilities. So Jacobs has to worry about when he comes forward, he's going to be getting countered. Whereas Golovkin, when Jacobs moves forward against Golovkin, when Golovkin moves back, he takes a lot longer to transition back from defense to offense, whereas Canelo can do it on the fly effortlessly. So that's the problem. Like, Jacobs is not going to have any breaks in this fight. He's not going to have really much time to rest. He's going to have to hold, and when he's holding, Canelo could be working and stealing the round. So I just think it's going to be different. I think Canelo brings a different level of athleticism to this fight than Golovkin did. I think his hands are much faster, and I think he's a much better counterpuncher. So I think this is going to be a very, very tough fight for Jacobs. I actually think Jacobs gets stopped tomorrow. I think Canelo's going to stop him. I just have a feeling Canelo is going to stop him. I really do.
I don't know about that, man. I think the safest bet on the table is that over-under, that this fight goes a distance. I don't think either one of them are going to knock each other out. I mean, listen, Golovkin couldn't knock out Jacobs. You know what I mean?
But again, I mean...
Now, I know styles make fights and everything like that.
Thing is, Jacobs could get caught with something coming in, and Jacobs could get caught with something he doesn't see. Because again, I think Canelo is a better combination puncher. He's more fluid. He's got faster hands. Speed kills. So does timing. Canelo's got hand speed and he's got timing on the back foot. I think it's much, and he's in his prime, whereas Golovkin is not. So, he's starting to exit his prime. Golovkin is. So you have to look at all those things. You have to look at him being in his prime. What is he, 28, 29 right now?
Yeah, who do you think fought him? I mean, who do you think fought a better version of Triple G, though?
It's hard to say.
Why? I mean, clearly Jacobs fought the better version, no?
I think they fought the same version, to be honest with you. I just think Canelo's got a difference. Again, Triple G did not feel comfortable dealing with Canelo's counterpunching. Jacob says that is not the same counterpuncher as Canelo is a much better counterpuncher than both fighters, in my opinion. And that's the difference here. And he commits to the body very well. Whereas Golovkin did not throw body shots in his either fight. Okay, so Jacobs have to worry about body shots. So I think they fought the same version, really, to be honest with you.
I don't know. All right, let's go to the phone, see what you guys think. Area code 503. 503, you're live. And again, maybe you're not.
Wow, you don't want to talk?
All right, 480. 480. You're live.
Yo, what's up, Eric? What's up, Beeb? It's Brandon from Phoenix. How you guys doing?
Brandon, how are you, buddy?
Brandon, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm chilling, man. I've been listening, man, but I just haven't called in for a little bit, man. There hasn't been anything really that good to talk about. Last week was a good week of boxing, but let's keep it on subject and talk about the fight tonight, man. I like Canelo, man. I just don't think that Jacobs can beat Canelo 9-3, which is what he's going to have to do to get this decision.
Yeah,
and
I'll go along with that.
And I think that I just don't think Jacobs is that much better of a boxer than Canelo is. I mean, he has, the longer reach and the distance and probably some foot speed on Canelo. But, I mean, when have we ever seen Danny Jacobs really take somebody apart with a jab?
He's got a point.
Good point. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of what I think about the main event. I mean, I think Canelo is definitely a better body puncher. And the thing about Canelo that I think is really separates him from other fighters in today is that Canelo's a very good combination puncher. I think that his head movement mixed with the combination punching is going to give Jacobs some trouble. And I think he also has a better chin than Jacobs too. If it does end up where they have to slug it out a little bit,
yeah,
I think his chin is better than Jacobs.
Counter puncher too. Don't forget the counter punching. Canelo's an outstanding. He's an outstanding counter puncher.
No, you're right. You're right on that. I mean, the one thing Jacobs has is the reach. But I mean, when you think about Jacobs' career, I struggle to remember the fight where he really, kind of broke somebody down using distance and things like that. I mean, he has pretty good defense, so I don't really expect to see a knockout in this fight, but I just can't think back to the Danny Jacobs fight that's telling me he's going to go in there and handle Canelo, because that's the only way he's getting a decision is if he goes in there and puts the beats on him. I just don't see it any other way. I expect it to be competitive and close in certain areas, but I just don't see Jacobs coming away with the victory.
Yeah, I got Canelo. I'm comfortable in picking Canelo tomorrow night. And this is the thing. I probably jinxed Canelo because I never. When was the last time I picked Canelo in a big fight?
I don't know. It's kind of like me picking Triple G in a big fight. It never happens,
I picked Khan. I picked Golovkin twice. Who else did I pick?
You did. You picked Khan over him.
I did.
You picked Khan over Canelo?
I did. And I thought he was winning the fight before he got stopped, too.
Come on, son.
Khan's always winning the fight before he gets stopped.
He was, wasn't he?
Strip, son.
I mean,
you agree?
Yeah, but I mean, there was just that massive welt was on the side of his body. And I mean, it wasn't just like a one shot he lost. It was that he got broke down and he lost.
Yeah.
And you know what? I remember going back and watching the Danny Garcia-Khan fight. And when you go back and watch it, because you know what's coming, you could kind of see the little subtleties that Danny was catching up with him.
Oh, yeah.
And when watching that fight live, it was like you were surprised that it happened. But when you go back and watch it, there's little subtle shots that Danny's catching him with. He's getting closer here and there.
Yeah. You could see Danny was sucking him in. You could see Danny was setting trap.
Exactly.
He was sucking him in. He was just waiting for him to bite on the trap, and he bit on the trap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that fight was only 4 rounds, and everyone's making a big deal. Oh, Khan was outboxing him clearly. They were 4 rounds in. It's a 12-round fight. I mean, I thought Khan had a good first 2 rounds, but as you said, you could have seen that fight turning a little bit in the 3rd round. You could see it.
Yeah, definitely. And, at that time, I mean, I can't remember what fights Khan was coming off of, but when Khan beat the crap out of Zab Judah, he was like the hottest thing going.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But anyway, who else is on this card?
Was it Mauricio Herrera and
Mauricio Herrera's on it, and
who's the guy he's fighting? That's gonna be a good fight.
That's a decent fight. I forget who he's fighting though. I think that's like the only.
He's fighting that prospect, right?
Yeah, he's a big underdog.
12-0 with 12 knockouts.
Yeah, and Herrera's a big underdog in that fight.
That's a good fight.
But he could win that fight. Virgil Ortiz, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the track record of Golden Boy prospects of late is not very good.
Yeah.
So
Ryan Garcia.
It might be more interesting than Oscar and those guys want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
But okay. But other than that, man, I don't really have anything else, man, for you guys. So I'll just keep on listening, man. But it was good chopping it up with you guys real quick, all right?
Hey, thanks for calling in, brother. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. I'll talk to y'all.
Awesome.
Good call from Brandon in Phoenix. So, yeah. So I mean, I just watched the video. I just watched the video again of the headbutt or whatever. Now, both heads came. To be fair, both of them came together at the same time, and they were pushing each other. So, I think it was both at the same time. I don't think anybody really initiated. I think they both initiated it. They were kind of making a big. I guess they were kind of making a big deal about it, but I don't know. I tell you what, man. I don't know what the promoters do when they let them come together like that. When your forehead's on the other guy's forehead, as soon as they touch you, they should have separated it.
Yeah,
they could get cut real easy right there.
Oh yeah,
especially with the crown of your head hitting them or something like that. I mean, that's a real easy.
And you're spot on with your assessment how the UFC handles it much better. Dana jumps in there right away.
Right away.
In boxing, they allow this shit to go on too much, and they step in way too late because you're 100% right. They definitely were like rubbing each other's heads for a good minute or so. They could have easily cut each other. You're right.
You're risking it. I mean, you're really risking it. Again, you're risking a headbutt. You're risking a cut. I mean, anything stupid can happen, man.
But I thought Jacobs nudged him with his head first, and he actually grabbed his arm too. I thought Jacobs escalated it and initiated the escalation, in my opinion. Again, I'm just going by what I saw.
Right.
But they both did come together pretty much at the same time.
And either way, I mean, honestly, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, because both guys.
Here, but
yeah.
I tell you, and I don't think it really indicates other than the fact that both guys don't like each other. And I've never seen Canelo that animated either. If anybody got out of form there, look at Canelo.
Well, you honestly think they don't really like each other, or you just think that this is probably the heat of the moment? I'm going to kind of say it was the heat of the moment because it's fight time. They turned it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've been civil all up to this time, but listen, man, you hear this, but again, man, you're in camp. You hear what the other guy's saying. And it's always, you're hearing the nonsense he's talking. He's not going to beat me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you're only human, and, you're sitting there, you're probably starving to make weight, and then you get in there, and then you remember all the stuff he talked about you and everything like that, and then, the guy told him to F his mother, at the end.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, he called him MF-er, you're right, yeah. Same thing.
No. Canelo said that to Jacobs. He said to go F your mother. He said, Chingo tu madre.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
The little Spanish that you do know, you picked that up, didn't you?
Well, my dad was upstairs and we were watching.
Your dad?
Say that? I'm like, what is going on?
Wow.
I asked Dad, I was like, what did he just say? Because I'm thinking to myself, did he really just say that? I was like, wow. That's rough, man. I was like, whoa.
Should have worn my poncho today.
So, yeah, man, it was pretty crazy. And, again, I was never, I never seen Canelo act like that, let me see it. Wingy Boxing, all right.
Put the camera on me. I want to give a shout out to Wingy Boxing, man. I missed the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Wingy Boxing, guys. There it is. Wingy Boxing. Shout out to Wingy Boxing.
I see him all the time on Facebook and stuff like that, and he's got a gaming channel, so go check that out.
Wingy, if you're listening to this on iTunes, I'm wearing your shirt right now, and I'm showing it to the fans on YouTube. Shout out to Wingy Boxing. Major respect.
Saying, we're two-time show of the year kebab winners. Yeah. I'm just
saying. This is a beautiful shirt, man.
Yeah. And not for nothing, but babe, has any other show done that before?
No.
We're the first.
I'm gonna wear my MegaFit Meals shirt tomorrow. I'm just gonna say one thing. If someone buys 12 meals, you give me your address. I will send you. You can email me at jhabib1@hotmail.com. I will send you a MegaFit Meals T-shirt. I will send you a MegaFit Meals T-shirt for the first 10 people. The first 10 people that buy 12 MegaFit Meals, I will send them a MegaFit Meals T-shirt free of charge to their house.
I was thinking about this the other day, but why don't we have any Ringside Reporter T-shirts?
We can make them. I actually have a Ringside Reporter T-shirt.
What?
I do. It says "Beating the Odds" of Beeb on the front of it, and it says Ringside Reporter on the back. Linda made it for me. She gave it to me.
Oh, that's right. I think I remember something about that.
Yeah, she gave it to me. One thing I gotta give a shout out to Linda too, man. One thing about her, she gave me the best gift. She bought me an iPad. She bought me. Yeah, she bought me like when I got my job. When I first got my job at the inspectional services office, she must have bought me about. I'm not even kidding. 20 shirts, 15 pants. Like she was great at getting gifts. I gotta just say that. I mean, she's great at other things too, but I mean she was great. Oh, I didn't mean that. I mean,
I didn't say a word. I'm just sitting here and I'm listening. That's all I'm doing.
She had other good qualities too, but she did buy. Lois, I know. Please, you know how he is. He's chauvinist.
Say nothing.
You know he's a misogynist, Lois.
I didn't say anything. I'm listening.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, she made that shirt for me. Sorry to go off on a tangent, guys. Rob Gotti, you haven't been listening? I got Canelo. This is the first time I'm picking Canelo. They'll probably lose now because I picked Canelo.
I'm taking Canelo too, man. I think that listen. I think there's just too much stacked in front of Danny Jacobs right now. I think that I mean, including Canelo. Canelo can box. It's not like he can't win, a decisive decision here.
Yeah.
It's not like he doesn't have the power to get rid of him either. But that being said, I think that there's too much in front of him in the sense that the same three judges that judged the Triple G last fight with him and Triple G are the same judges that are judging it here. Now, when has that ever happened? You know what I mean? When does that happen? So much so.
Well, these judges
I think the favoritism in Vegas, so much stacked against him. Bob Bennett himself, the leader of the the Nevada State Athletic Commission, has come out. He came out and said that no, there's no favoritism against Canelo. That's crazy. Blah blah blah. Look.
Or against Jacobs, you mean?
No. Or there's no conspiracy here. There's no. We don't favor Canelo. We don't do special favors for him and this and that. Listen, man, if you got to come out and say that, I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean that's just suspect to me. Professional organizations just let that roll. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't come out and say no, we're not favoring the other guy. And I'm not saying pro or con they are or they're not. I'm just saying there's a lot of fishy stuff there. Listen, man, Canelo is the house favorite there. Golden Boy, DAZN, they just signed a big con. I mean, listen, man, Jacobs is going to have to knock him out cold to beat him.
Now this set of judges is the judges that judged the second fight, not the first fight.
We're not seeing like Adelaide Bird or anybody in.
But they didn't do a bad job in that second fight. So I don't think there's a controversy there. In my opinion.
Think so? I mean, you don't think so? You don't think like I said, the same judges that gave him the biggest fight of his life?
But here's the thing. Did you have him winning that fight? You had it a draw, right? One judge had it a draw, and the other two had it 115, 113. I mean, they were credible scorecards. That's what I'm saying.
To me, to have the same panel of judges judging the same type of fight.
All right. Shout out to MegaFit Meals. Go to megafitmeals.com. Check out the link in the description box. Meal delivery service, healthiest food you could buy, and it tastes phenomenal. Great nutritious meals that taste good, that make you feel good, and they will enhance your well-being. And I'm not just saying that because I eat them. And you see how I look.
You look like Danny Jacobs. He looks like Danny Jacobs.
So go out there, click that link in the description box, megafitmeals.com. Click on that link, and I said first 10 people that buy 12 meals, I will send them a free T-shirt if they give me their address.
There you go. We gotta get shirts made, dude.
Oh, I can make them. I can get them made. We can use. I know a place we can. I'll talk to you after the show. We can do something.
All right. Yeah. Let's get some shirts made. And I don't even need. I mean, like we don't even have to sell them. I mean, just like for us. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to sell them, but we can get it for ourselves.
I mean,
Yeah, if we sell them, we'll sell them real.
Man, hit that fucking like button.
We'll sell them real cheap. We won't try to make a huge profit.
Yeah, I don't want.
Because we want people. And certain people we'll just send them to for free. Like Raphael, definitely. If we make them, you'll definitely get one for free, Raphael. Definitely.
Dale in Chi-Town said he'll rock one.
Yeah, we'll send the the loyal listeners that check, like Georgie, Raphael, Dale. We'll send. We could send Jason one, but he's never on camera, the coward. So
he is. He's not, man. He's never on. He's never
yeah.
on there, is he?
I respect to you too, Raphael. I mean, you and I we disagree a lot, but
he's a charged Jason.
you're a cool cat, man.
Yeah.
Much respect to you, Raphael. You're here all the time, and even though I don't agree with you, I still respect your opinion. I'm still glad you're here.
Man. Absolutely, he knows what he's talking about. Like I said, we
don't
always have to agree. Doesn't mean it doesn't.
And that's why I'm so adamant about the Skype, because for people like Raphael, because he when he does call in, he has good insightful points.
Yeah.
And I think we have that Skype pretty much down. Just if you guys have a bad connection, sometimes it's gonna affect the quality of the sound, but it is what it is. I know sometimes it's tough when you're Skyping in from overseas. It's not always easy.
Yeah. Tony Yayo says, I want to look like the Vietnamese version of Beeb. I'm going to order some Mega Fit meals. There you go.
Order them. I'll send you a free T-shirt, man.
Let me ask you a question now. So
I got answers. I'm like Radio Shack. You ask questions, I got answers.
Do you guys still have Radio Shack up there?
I think they went out of business.
Yeah, I thought
they closed. They closed a lot of them down.
So sad, man. I used to love Radio Shack.
Yeah, man. Sears too. I think Sears
Sears is definitely gone.
Amazon destroyed everybody. And you know what the great? Go ahead.
Did you hear? All right, so Toys R Us. You guys know about Toys R Us, and Toys R Us went out of business. Did you hear, like in Canada, Toys R Us is like thriving? They still got Toys R Us in Canada. I had no idea.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Because everybody's got to, like, this is the thing about Amazon. Like, people say, oh, why should I get Amazon? I don't want to pay a yearly membership. Yeah, but here's two things you have to take into consideration. If you get the Amazon credit card and you get the points, the thing pays for itself. You get 5% cash back on anything you purchase on Amazon.
You don't even have to like buy that though. You don't even have to get like Prime with it. Prime is awesome, by the way, but you don't.
Yeah, I have Prime
with it.
I have Prime, and I get free shipping on everything 2 days.
Does too, yeah.
Then you have the Amazon locker. You can have it shipped to the locker. Mm-hmm. You say you don't want to have things shipped to your house if you're not home, and you can just have the thing shipped to the locker. And there's like an Amazon locker, like literally like 6 minutes from my house. Just go to the locker and pick it up. Enter the code in, and the locker opens up, and boom, you're all set. Yeah,
that's crazy. But let me ask you now. Okay, so we both think Canelo's going to win this fight, maybe for different reasons, but I think we think Canelo's going to win this fight. How does Jacobs win this fight?
My biggest problem with Jacobs in this fight is he can't win at close range. He can't. And when he's moving forward, there's a big risk of him being counterpunched. So the way he wins this fight, honestly, he's going to have to land a long right hand from the outside, catch Canelo slipping a little bit. He's going to have to catch a long right hand from the outside. It's going to have to be a fight-changing punch. And that's the only way he wins this fight. He's going to have to hurt Canelo. If he can't hurt Canelo, he's not going to win this fight. Canelo, I know Canelo can hurt him. I shouldn't say I know, but I feel strongly that Canelo could hurt him. I'm not 100% sure that Jacobs could hurt Canelo, because Golovkin landed flush on Canelo. Canelo ate those punches like candy, right? So that's the big problem here is if Jacobs can't hurt Canelo, it is going to be a long, long night for him. And I'm very skeptical on whether or not he can hurt Canelo in this fight. Canelo's got a phenomenal chin. He's a phenomenally conditioned athlete.
He's such a big guy. Jacobs is such a big guy. I thought that he buzzed Triple G a couple of times in that fight.
I thought he did too. I really did.
But like, how could he not hurt Canelo? I mean, I thought Triple G buzzed him in the last fight too. I thought Triple G buzzed Canelo in the last fight.
Yeah, he got his attention a little bit in that. But the first fight, he was landing like bombs on him, and he couldn't even phase him. Remember they showed that side by side of him landing that same right hand on Khan, and then they landed on Canelo, and Canelo didn't even move. Oh no, it was Triple G. I'm sorry.
Triple G, yeah, it's Triple G.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that mixed up. You're right. I'm sorry. I got that mixed up.
Yeah, but I think that
Golovkin's got a good shit
Jacobs
too.
can hurt him. I think Jacobs can definitely hurt him. I think he'd be mistaken to think that he can't.
Has Canelo ever been down in his career?
You know what? I think he has been, but I mean, technically no. And I thought somebody put him down, and I thought they called it a slip or something like that. But I thought he's been down. But technically, no, he has not been down.
Okay, same thing for Golovkin. He's never been down either, right?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so.
I don't even think Marvin Hagler, I don't even think he went, I don't think he's ever suffered a knockdown in his whole career either. And he had like freaking, like something like 65, 66 fights.
The only time I saw Marvin Hagler knocked down is when he got hit with a bottle over in England. Remember when they threw, who was he? Was it Alan Minter he was fighting?
Yes, Alan
Minter. Throwing
Minter.
the bottles in the ring and stuff like that, like the beer bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's amazing. He never went down.
Jason in the chat just says Cotto's little brother hurt Canelo. I remember that. Yeah, I thought there was, listen, man, just because we haven't seen him buzz doesn't mean he can't be buzzed. And so for sure, Danny Jacobs can definitely hurt Canelo and vice versa.
No question. No question.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, and again, Jacobs is a bigger guy. And I think everybody's talking about how well Canelo boxes. Let's talk about how well Danny Jacobs boxes. It's not like this guy sucks. He can box. He's a very good boxer. I thought he outboxed Triple G in that fight. He's a very, very good fighter. Very good boxer. So, I don't know. But everybody looks at him like the underdog, And he always is, and we always underestimate him, and he always seems to prove us wrong in one way or another.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for Canelo, to be honest with you. I mean, I just love the fact how he's improved and how he keeps taking on the tough challenges. And everyone thinks I'm a Canelo hater, but I just thought that some of his opponents, I thought that they could beat him. I thought they had styles that would be problematic for him. I just thought that, And I would have loved to have seen him fight Lara in a rematch, but it never happened. So what are you going to do? But I think this version of Lara would get destroyed against Canelo.
I think so too.
Yeah, he's up there in age now, but it is what it is.
There it is. All right, let's go to area code 901. 901, you're live.
Is that New York?
I don't know.
Hey, yo, what's going on, fellas? What's going on? It's Mr. DAZN, and I had to call you about this fight week, man. And I've been telling you guys that pay-per-view is dead. And today is a proof of that. As you can see, the big show, all the legends came out. Oscar De La Hoya, Eddie Hearn. I mean, they're doing a great job in DAZN. I mean, when you put $1 billion into boxing, which DAZN did, I mean, you can expect great things because nobody else is putting this type of money into boxing. Nobody else is paying fighters this type of money. You know what I mean? And pay-per-view is dead. For everybody listening in the chat right now, we should all be thankful for DAZN and thank God for DAZN that we don't have to pay $100 anymore. Because, people were paying $100 for these bum-ass fights to watch Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao for every round, from Mikey Garcia versus Earl Spence. Every round, it was a shutout. It wasn't even competitive. And people spending all this money on these bullshit fights. Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan ended in controversy. These DAZN fights are living up to the hype. I mean, look at the crowd. Did you guys see the weigh-in? Did you see that? I mean,
that was amazing.
To me, that's not bigger than Earl Spence. I mean, that's bigger than Earl Spence versus Mikey Garcia. And they charge people almost $100, and you can just get DAZN for a whole year and watch Anthony Joshua, Hyman Munguia, Demetrius Andrade, Devin Haney. Can I keep going? Ryan Garcia, Kevin Farmer. The list goes on, man. DAZN is here to stay. And all these people, always hating on the zone, always hating. I mean, you guys never hated on the zone. You guys let me speak my piece. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, what do you guys think about pay-per-view being dead? Is this the end of pay-per-view? After tomorrow, after Saturday night, is pay-per-view dead because Deontay Wilder is fighting on Showtime? He's not even fighting on pay-per-view. So name another pay-per-view fight since we're on the phone. Name one.
Well, the thing is this. I think if the zone keeps up doing what they're doing with Canelo, and if AJ can AJ's fight with Ruiz is a pretty decent fight too. So if they can continue,
that's a pay-per-view fight.
That would probably be a pay-per-view. If it was in the United States, it would probably be a Showtime fight, but it's definitely a pay-per-view fight in the UK.
No.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying, Anthony Joshua is the cash cow. He is the cash cow. And I mean, that fight is sold out already. Did you guys hear about Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Brazil? The sales for this fight is not good at all. They said it's horrible. So Anthony Joshua, those tickets already been. I mean, it's already sold out pretty much. So I mean, the zone is winning all across the board when you look at it. That's why people like Devin Haney, they're leaving Showtime and coming to the zone. I mean, it all started when Deontay Wilder took the meeting with the zone. Once that happened, everybody realized, man, this shit is real. This DAZN stuff is real, you know?
You know, and Devin Haney came out and made a statement. He said that DAZN made him a multimillionaire. So I don't know exactly what they gave him in terms of money for his contract, but you know,
he's rich.
Yeah, I
would say he has more. You would say Devin Haney has more money than for sure than Gervonta Davis or Shakur Stevenson. I would say Devin Haney right now has a better deal than Deontay Wilder, and he's only 20 years old. He has his own promotional company. He can put on his own fight. He can put on, you know what I mean? He can make somebody a world champion. You got to think about that. Deontay Wilder doesn't have he's 33. He doesn't have a promotional company. He's fighting Dominic Brazil, and we don't even know what he's making. We don't even know what his purse. I mean, they didn't even put out a statement what he's making. And Devin Haney is rich. He's rich as fuck. He has DAZN money. He just uploaded a picture on Instagram showing off some of that DAZN money. And Gervonta Davis, he's fighting. He has a bullshit contract with Floyd Mayweather. Come on, man. PBC is losing. Eddie Hearn is the king. Everybody should thank Eddie Hearn, thank Oscar De La Hoya. We should thank De La Hoya for coming to the zone. And De La Hoya was a world champion. Matter of fact, he was a 10-time world champion. He is the greatest Mexican fighter of all time.
Whoa,
and then, you have Eddie Hearn, the greatest promoter. Why not? A 10-time world champion? He did beat Julio Cesar Chavez. He beat him twice.
He's not really Mexican.
He's Mexican-American.
Right.
I mean,
he's the best. He's the best Mexican-American fighter of all time. How's that? He's the best Mexican-American fighter of all time. We'll give him that, dog man. All right,
best gold medalist too. I mean, De La Hoya fought everybody. He never ducked anybody. Golden Boy Promotions, they started off Earl Spence. They started off Deontay Wilder. Did we forget about Adrian Broner being on Golden Boy? What about everybody from PBC starting at Golden Boy? What about Floyd Mayweather doing all those fights with Golden Boy, Robert Guerrero? What about Victor Ortiz? What about all those fights? What about Canelo Alvarez? What about Golden Boy Promotions building up Showtime and PBC, and nobody gives De La Hoya credit and try to blackball him? But guess what? Mexicans, they always ran boxing. The Mexicans are the biggest fans, and Cinco de Mayo weekend, we celebrating on DAZN. And guess what, man? Thank God for DAZN, brothers. B, thanks for always giving me a shot and letting me speak my mind. And thank you, Eric. You guys are a great show, and you guys support everybody. And I just want to tell you guys, Clarissa Shields, she's on her way to DAZN. She already fought on DAZN. She is Miss DAZN. I am Mr. DAZN. And I know you guys were on All Access with her. Tell her H Money, Mr. DAZN, said hi. And he just want to say, I want to shoot my shot. I want to shoot my shot. She is the queen of boxing. She is the queen, and she's beautiful, man. You know, she's the Serena Williams of boxing. And if you guys can get her on a show with Eddie Hearn, you know, I'm Devin Haney. Hey, it's all about the zone with me, brothers. It's all about the zone. So thanks. It's always good to call in on the biggest weekend of boxing this year. The biggest weekend, Cinco de Mayo, is always the biggest weekend in boxing. And this weekend belongs to the Mexicans. So Floyd Mayweather can sit his old ass down. Devin Haney is the new Mayweather, you know, and he's on the zone.
Well, I'm pretty sure we can make a couple of those guests happen. I don't know if we can bring Eddie Hearn on or not. We're not wingy. But I'm pretty sure we can make a couple of those guests happen.
Anybody I mentioned, I'm happy. Anybody from the zone, when it comes to anybody that works for the zone, I'm with that, man. Because the zone run boxing, and the proof is in the pudding. I know we all just seen that weigh-in. I know everybody's watching the zone. I don't think anybody was paying attention to Showtime or ESPN. So the zone is the home of boxing, brothers. And thank this show, Ringside Reporter. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Support this show. These are two great guys, man, and they love boxing, and so do I. You know, right. I support this show every time. Every time I get a chance.
This guy is good, man.
This guy is really good.
This guy pumps me up, man. I feel like going to the gym after the show now.
Right.
This guy pumps me up. Lois, did you send the paperwork yet? You got to sign this kid up, Lois. Send it over.
If anybody gets a shirt, I think that guy's up there.
Oh, he's getting a shirt.
He's totally getting a shirt. You know, what's the difference? But what's the difference between like his calls and Jason's call? Because Jason does the same thing, like with the PBC. And I thought about it. It's personalities. He's a very nice guy, you know.
Oh, he's up. No, this guy is positive. This guy is positive and he's up and he's upbeat. And he's upbeat.
Right.
This guy blows Jason out of the water. Jason sounds like a kid that has like Tourette syndrome or something when he calls in.
The Zone will have many 1 month subs for this fight. Yeah, that's possible. This comes from D-Style. Yeah, that's possible. And I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, numbers are numbers, and it is what it is. And you know, who cares? Who cares? You know, I'm a monthly subscriber or whatever to Zone because, you know, listen, man, I love that World Boxing Super Series.
I think our subscription ends on May 20 in May at sometime in this month right now, Eric. And I got an email saying my subscription ends on May 22nd, and it says it says I can continue until until I think September of 2020, paying the $9.99, yeah. or I can pay the $100. I can just pay the $100. So I don't know what I should do. Should I wait till September and just pay the $100, or what should I do? Because I haven't even had it. Well, I haven't even had it a year yet. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think whatever's cheaper, that's what you go with. You know,
$100 is cheaper because we pay $119 right now.
Yeah.
We
pay everybody's complaining about the price for, honestly. I mean, when it jumps up to $20, so what? It jumps up to $20, right? And then so you go, you know, or you can pay $8.99 a month. It's cheaper. It's cheap. $8.99 a month if you pay it all in one lump sum. So what is $100? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Even if you pick and choose your fights, it's a no-brainer.
Well, D-Style made a great point. He said there's going to be a lot of 1 month subscribers.
Yeah, that's what I was reading on
there. For this fight. But do you think any of those people, there may be some type of trickle-down effect that maybe some of those people may stay?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So,
what do you think? What do you think, that everybody who signs up for a month just automatically cancels after that month? If you got 50 people that sign up for the month, you know, you got some of them that are going to forget they signed up for it. You know, that's number one. But number two, they're going to like, oh, this is all right. I like this boxing. What's coming on next month? All right, I'll keep it. You know, I'll keep it for the fights, or I like to watch darts or whatever it is. You know, so yeah, I mean, there's absolutely going to be a trickle down for it. They love when stuff like that happens. Anybody, I mean, ESPN, they all do. All the apps are going to, you know, they're going to go nuts over that.
Oh, you're right.
You know, there'll be a trickle down there. You're right, 100% right.
I think so too.
So, I mean, so DAZN, I mean, and, you know, my dad and I were talking about this upstairs. I said, you know, he was like, I can't believe this fight's not on pay-per-view. I said, right? I said, it's DAZN. DAZN doesn't have pay-per-view now.
I got to be honest. This is a really good fight, man.
It's a great fight. This is a pay-per-view fight. If there was no DAZN, this would definitely be a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
Tony Ayo just said, I usually forget. I got so many apps linked to my credit card. He's right. I mean, that's how a lot of people are.
Yeah, I got it for AJ Pavek, and I never canceled either.
Yeah. He just said that, Jason said that Canelo Jacobs should be a regular HBO fight, and I disagree with that. I think that, look at the Triple G and Jacobs fight was on pay-per-view. So, yeah, and D-Style just said it's the first pay-per-view worthy fight. Yeah, I think so. This is a big, big fight.
Now Joshua Ruiz is in a pay-per-view fight. Would you say that's a pay-per-view fight?
Joshua Ruiz, no.
That's not pay-per-view. Not for us.
Listen, here's the deal with that, is that this is a big deal because Joshua is coming to New York.
Yeah.
This is huge in the sense for Joshua, for New York. I mean, this is that's why it's a big deal. But it's not a big deal in terms of, like, would this fight be on pay-per-view? No. Heck no.
AJ couldn't even fight Fury in the U.S. and have it be pay-per-view, right? It wouldn't do well. It would have to be Wilder, right?
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I wouldn't put that fight on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
No. I mean, Bob Arum would want to put that fight on pay-per-view, but no, I wouldn't want to put that fight on pay-per-view. No way.
No.
For what?
Yeah.
Yeah, D-Style says he doesn't know if it's huge. It's a huge fight. What are you talking about? I mean, it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's a unification fight. Middleweight champion. I mean, it's a competitive fight. You don't know who's going to win. Either guy could win. That's a big fight, my man. It's a big fight.
Yeah.
No two ways about it.
Yeah, I like Canelo in this fight, to be honest.
Yeah. Jake Cleary just said Wilder won't fight AJ. Well, you know what? You're right. He won't. And it came out this week that Wilder came out and said that, hey, I'm not his manager. I guess Shelley Finkel said that we're not fighting him this year. It won't even be till next year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry. D-Style was referring to me saying the huge deal about the AJ fight. That is a huge deal. Now, is the fight a huge deal? No, but the event is a huge deal in the sense that, again, he's coming here. Remember how big the Klitschko fight was? You remember how big the Klitschko fight with, what was that guy's? Bryant Jennings. Wasn't it Bryant Jennings when he fought him in Madison Square or whatever? That's, that's, while that fight wasn't a big fight,
it was on HBO.
Because the guy who had all the belts from across the pond is coming over here to defend him, and we never saw him, and he's going to defend him against an American. That was the big deal,
Yeah.
Maybe huge. I don't know about huge. Touche. There you go. Let's see here. What else we got? I think that about covers it, man. What about you, Beeb? So we're taking Canelo. I'm taking Canelo by decision. And I'm going to take by knockout.
Yeah, I'm going to take Canelo by 10th round stoppage in this fight.
That's a strong. All right. So the over-under on this fight is 10.5, right?
Yeah.
You think it goes under?
No. I'm going to say it still goes over, but it's gonna be past the midway point. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you so much, Dale.
Thank you so much, Dale. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I think it's gonna go past the midway. I think the overs. I mean, if you get a bet on this fight, I agree with you 110%. I think the over is the best bet. I think it's the best bet, without question. I really do.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be scared to put a bet on either of these guys.
Let's check all the prop bets real quick. See if they have the prop bets up real quick right now. Let's see what the decision prop is and the knockout prop is. I'm sure the decision prop for Canelo is probably going to be a horrible odds. See if I can find the props here. All right, where is it? Okay. Boxing. I can't find boxing on there for some reason. Oh, fighting. Okay, here's boxing. Okay. Let's see what we got.
E.M. Serrano just said, I hope we see Pro Grace Taylor. I think we will.
Daniel Jacobs is a plus 360. Canelo is a minus 450 for the regular odds.
Wow.
So let me see if I can find the props.
A minus 450?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's like a 3.5 to 1 favorite, closer to 4 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah, closer to 4 to 1. Fighting. Okay, boxing props. Here we go. Let's look at some of the props now. Okay, boxing props. Oh, Funeka's fighting, huh? Funeka's fighting some guy. Ali Funeka. I can't believe he's still fighting. Wow. Let's see if they have prop. Okay. Jacobs wins by 12-round decision. Is a plus. Wow, if you pick Jacobs by decision, it's a plus 685.
So $100 to win 685.
Yeah. Okay, Alvarez wins by 12-round decision. Is a minus 117. See, that's not that bad though. Alvarez, wow. Okay, Alvarez wins inside the distance. Is a plus 263. Wow. So there is some people that think he's going to win by stoppage. He's only so you can't, if you like Canelo, to get even money you'd have to bet, to get close to even money you'd have to bet him by decision to get a minus 117, and then if you pick him by inside the distance, which is by knockout or whatever, by stoppage, it's a plus 263. Wow. Jacobs by 12-round decision. Oh, Jacobs by Jacobs wins inside the distance. Jacobs wins inside the distance is a plus 815. Wow.
Man, so $100 to win $815.
Let's see what the odds are on the over under. Because I sent that to you earlier in the week. Let's take a look here. Continue. Okay. Archer Beterbiev is fighting this week?
Yeah, he's fighting Saturday, 10 o'clock on ESPN.
Wow, you're right, Eric. I guess the over is not good. It's not good odds. It's a minus 260. So it's minus 260.
So you bet 260 to win 100.
Yeah. So I guess if you were a gambler, I think the bet would be probably Alvarez by decision.
What's the let's go to the undercard here. What is the Herrera fight against Ortiz? Is it Ortiz he's fighting? Virgil Ortiz?
Wow, you're gonna go nuts when you hear the odds here. Guess what the odds are here? Virgil Ortiz here is a minus 2150. Minus two. You have to put $2,150 on Ortiz just to win 100. Now Mauricio Herrera is a plus 1,300. Now my question to you all, to all of you out there, is Mauricio Herrera worth a tickle here? Is he worth a tickle?
I think he might be. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You put $50 on Mauricio Herrera to win $750.
Yeah.
So you get your $750 plus your $50 back, so you get $800.
Yeah. I think that's I think you'd have to, right? I mean, because we all know Mauricio Herrera. He's a good fighter. I think he's probably a little long in the tooth. I mean, that's why they picked him here. But
guess the over/under in this fight is 6.5. The under is a plus 110. The over is a minus 130. Can you imagine that?
Man, it's almost. I mean, yeah, that's insane.
Minus 130 for the over. Can you imagine?
Yeah, Earthquake kind of hit it on the head, though. He said Herrera was a live dog a few years ago, but too old now. That's kind of my feeling on it. That's a tough one. Again, that's what's tough about it is because, like, you remember these guys back then, and, hey, a couple of fights ago, it's in your mind, like, a couple of fights ago, he really put on a competitive show, but it really wasn't a couple of fights ago.
It's crazy how you could see a difference in a year. Because remember De La Hoya, this is the crazy thing about De La Hoya. When De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather, that was in 2007, and he lost by split decision.
Yeah.
He fought Manny Pacquiao in 2008.
Yeah.
He got destroyed, and he had that tough fight with the hell's that guy's name there? Steve Forbes, right? Steve Forbes swelled up both his eyes in that fight, right?
Forbes, yeah. And that was the most competitive, one-sided, fight I've seen because, like I said, Forbes wasn't winning rounds and he was losing the fight, but he was very competitive in that fight.
But he was landing good shots.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Steve Forbes, who doesn't even have a big punch, was puffed up both of De La Hoya's eyes. What was De La Hoya thinking going back down to 147?
I don't know. But you know what? I thought De La Hoya was going to smash Pacquiao. I thought he was just too big.
I'm going to be honest with you. Here's the thing. When the fight was first announced, I thought it was a mismatch.
I did too.
But you know what happened? I started watching the 24/7s. And I started looking at Oscar De La Hoya. I started seeing him with the black eye. Edwin Valero gave him the black eye. He sent Edwin Valero home.
Did that happen?
Yeah. Everyone says it can be confirmed, and I even think De La Hoya confirmed it too. Edwin Valero beat him up bad in sparring, really
Valero
bad.
Was a bad guy, man. He was so awesome, man.
And they sent them home like after one day. They sent them home, and then you look at De La Hoya's body, and you looked at his skin. He was so pale. Watching him train, he looked horrible. So as I watched those 24/7s, and I saw how bad De La Hoya looked, I said to myself, I think Pacquiao's going to pull this one off. Like I changed my mind the final week of the fight.
Wow.
I just didn't like how De La Hoya looked.
How good do you think Edwin Valero would have been if he had, well, I guess it's tough to say because
he was a monster.
If he didn't go out the way he did, he was going to jail. So,
and I hate to make excuses for anybody because what he did was disgustingly horrible. It was gross. It was abysmal. But but listen to me. But listen to me now. Let's look at it. Like remember Chris Benoit did the same.
Yes.
Did a similar. Now,
I remember that, yeah.
both guys suffered head injuries. Could that have affected them psychologically? They say so. Because Edwin Valero had a bad brain bleed, and it's a miracle he even got his boxing license after that. Was he just? Which obviously he was a horrible person, but did that become amplified because of his head injury? That's what I'm just trying to.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
Would he have done those things if he didn't suffer that head injury?
Right.
We'll never know. We'll never know. And I'd be curious to see if they did an autopsy on him to see what was if there was something wrong with him.
Well, and in Chris Benoit's case, they were blaming that on steroids. Steroid rage or whatever, but there was a lot of speculation now, especially that he had CTE at the time of the stuff going on, and with obviously he had some kind of mental illness going on, and I wouldn't doubt that he had CTE. I mean, everything it's all choreographed and everything, but it doesn't mean they're not. They're taking some pretty big falls there.
Yeah, look at the Patriots guy, the Hernandez guy. They did an autopsy on him, and his brain was he had some brain issues.
Well, didn't Junior Seau? Remember Junior Seau? Didn't he end up committing suicide or whatever? And then he left that note saying to study his brain or whatever and that kind of thing. Wasn't it Junior Seau?
I think you may be right, but I have to double check that.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the phones here. Area code 312. 312, you're live.
Hey, Dr.
Fight Doctor, what's happening?
As always, what's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on? What's going on, brother?
Just, what's going on, B? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm getting ready for the fight. I'm excited.
Who are you guys liking? In tomorrow's fight?
Canelo.
Canelo
wins a decision.
I think Canelo stops him in 10 rounds.
So Canelo, you got Canelo by stoppage.
Yeah, 10th round.
Wow, that's an interesting pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got him by
and I love Danny Jacobs. I love Danny Jacobs.
For Danny Jacobs tomorrow.
I want Danny Jacobs to win the fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
I actually missed the weigh-in. Did you guys? So I missed the weigh-in. So normally I like to make my picks after the weigh-in. I want to see what the guys look like. So what did Jacobs look like? I'm curious to know. Did he look drawn? Did he look like he had a hard time making weight?
I thought his face looked drawn. But he looks sharp. I mean, he looks razor sharp. I mean, he really does.
I thought he looked in the best condition I've ever seen him in my life. He's always in great condition.
Yeah.
I thought he looked phenomenal. Like he was shredded. He looked good. And to me, he didn't look. He looked very well conditioned. He didn't look depleted to me. Eric says he looked a little depleted. That's his opinion. I respect it. But I just think he looked razor sharp.
I thought he looked a little thin in the face, a little drawn in the face. But
I look at the body, and I thought his muscles looked filled. I thought his muscles looked filled. His muscles looked filled. Like certain guys when they drain, like you can see how their body looks flat and it looks dry. Now he looked a little dry, obviously, because he's cutting weight, but his muscles looked full. So you could tell his nutrition was on point for this camp, in my opinion.
And Canelo also looked good. And Canelo looked healthy. Canelo looked. He didn't look drawn at all. He looked healthy. He looked really solid.
Yeah. Canelo looks like he's making this cut better and better each time out now.
Both guys look good. Yeah, both guys look good.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought Canelo.
So here's my follow-up question. What's the deal with the rehydration clause?
I don't like it.
I heard that there's a rehydration clause.
Yeah, so the IBF has this rule that the next day there's a next day weigh-in, okay, and we call the rehydration clause.
And I hate it. And I fucking hate that rule.
This is only for the IBF. Now,
okay, so
here's where it gets sticky.
Let me
explain this to you here. The IBF has this rehydration clause, and Danny Jacobs is, of course, the IBF champion. However, that rehydration clause goes out the window in a unification fight. Okay? This rehydration clause is strictly a contract thing, and it's strictly a Canelo thing. All right?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Nothing to do with the IBF.
I hate that they did that.
I hate it. I hate it too. It has nothing to do with the IBF, and that's why I say there's too many obstacles in front of Jacobs to win this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it 10 pounds or is it 10%?
10 pounds.
I can't recall.
10 pounds.
10 pounds. Okay. So then, when is the follow-up? So when is the follow-up weigh-in?
9 o'clock
tomorrow.
They got to get up early in the fucking morning while they could be resting, and they got to get up at 9 in the morning. That's bullshit.
So the follow-up weigh-in is at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Vegas time.
So basically, Jacobs has to spend the night weakening himself, not eating like he would normally eat between weigh-in and fight time, and worry about it. See, this is. Now, what about Alvarez? Does Alvarez have to?
He should be used to it, though. I mean, because he is the IBF champion, and that's what you have to do if you're the IBF.
No, but this is the problem, Eric. He just won the IBF title. He had to do it for his last fight.
Yeah.
And I don't think he looked great in his last fight. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think it affected him in his last fight. He may not admit it. Because I'll be honest with you, when I a guy like Jacobs, when he's fully rehydrated comfortably, in my opinion, is at least 175 pounds. Now, you may be saying...
He says he's going to come in the ring tomorrow at 175.
Yeah, but see, he would rather have put that 175 on over the course of the night and not have to stop the process and then have to get up early and weigh in. It fucks up the rest. He didn't do it again. He didn't do it in the Golovkin fight, and he allowed Golovkin. He allowed himself to not fight for the IBF title. So this isn't something that I think he's comfortable with, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm sure he can get used to it, but it's definitely a disadvantage to him because he's definitely probably a guy that walks around at 180, 185, and when he does rehydrate, he probably does like to get down to to get up to 175. So that extra 5 pounds is a lot.
And so now,
go ahead.
And I remember when Jacobs fought Bumlufkin, he opted out of the IBF rehydration clause.
Yes.
Because he wanted to be comfortable come fight night.
Right.
And so when he fought Deverenchenko, then of course, he had to adhere to the IBF rehydration clause because, well, that's what you have to do to contest for an IBF title. All right, but that was in his last fight. Other than that, he hasn't been made to adhere to the stipulations. So my question is this rehydration clause, does it apply to Alvarez too, or is it just for Danny Jacobs?
No, it does.
Well,
it applies to Alvarez as well.
But Fight Doctor, here's the thing, Fight Doctor. This is not per the IBF. This is per Golden Boy. Yes. So he can say I'm not going to do it, and he just has to pay them a penalty. So his purse,
which I'm sure is probably several $1 million.
His purse would be reduced if he decided to blow off, this next day weigh-in. So the question I have would it be worth taking less money to blow this weigh-in off and give yourself the best possible, advantage to win the fight? If I'm Jacobs, what do I do here? It depends how big the penalty is. So say it's $1 million per pound over, and he comes in at 175. Is it worth giving up $5 million for? Because what's his purse for this fight? Somewhere around $11 million. They're saying.
Jason is saying $15 million. I don't know how much his purse is.
15. So it's $15 million. Now
Jason's
would you take?
Also saying it's $250,000 per pound.
Oh, it's $250. It's $250 per pound. I don't know. So if it's me, I'm blowing off that second day weigh-in. If it's me, and I'm paying the penalty. That's just me.
Yeah, if I'm Jacobs, this is, once in a lifetime because, look, you lose this fight, then, how old is Jacobs? I mean, he's on the downside of 30, right?
How old is Jacobs? That's a good question. How old is Jacobs?
I want to say he's 30 on the nose, but he could be 31. Let's look it up real quick. I'm not. Now you got me curious.
Well, however old he is, Jacobs has been around for a while. This is his opportunity to cash in. And, I'm thinking if it were me, to hell with that rehydration clause. I'm going to give myself the best chance to win this fight.
He's 32.
Okay, and whatever you pay in penalties, at that point it doesn't matter anymore because now I'm in the driver's seat because I'm the champion. I beat you, and now you have to dance to my tune. So, but the point of it all is, this is a bit ridiculous, isn't it? What the fuck? Listen, Golden Boy, old fishnets, De La Hoya is doing the Bob Arum song and dance with this bullshit. De La Hoya was the most protected fighter I have ever seen in the 35 years of boxing I've been watching boxing. De La Hoya is the most protected fighter I have ever seen. Period. I can't think of anyone who was more protected than him. Okay, and a lot of folks don't want to talk about, he fought all the big names, this, that, and the other. Listen, behind every big fight that De La Hoya had, there is an asterisk. Trinidad, Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. There are asterisks behind those fights. Okay, Trinidad had problems making weight. Mosley was one fight removed from fighting at lightweight, 2 divisions below welterweight. Every big fight this man has ever had. This asterisk, everything. So, listen, he's continuing the Bob Arum tradition of protecting fighters. I mean, this shit is ridiculous. I mean, first of all, it's bad enough that we have this whole IBF bullshit clause. Okay, look.
I fucking hate it.
Listen,
I hate it.
Go back to same-day weigh-ins. Okay,
I hate it.
Same-day weigh-ins, and all this shit becomes a moot point.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is. I mean, come on. The song and dance, the bullshit. Come on, man. Just when is boxing going to go back to being a sport and not a fucking game, not a fucking business, not just some fucking bullshit? I mean, if you're going to compete at middleweight, fine, compete at middleweight. But all of this extra shit. I mean, it's exhausting. I mean, come on, man. Listen, at the end of the day, the deck is heavily stacked in Alvarez's favor. Jacobs is going to need a knockout just to get a draw.
Yeah,
Let's be completely honest here. My pick is Alvarez by robbery.
Wow.
Okay?
So you actually
Alvarez
think
by
that
robbery,
Jacobs...
that's my pick.
So you think Jacobs is actually going to win the fight, but Canelo's going to get the decision?
Yeah.
I think Jacobs is going to win the fight, but the question is, who do the politics favor?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we've seen this before, and so Jacobs is going to need a knockout just to get a draw. I mean, you got this bullshit rehydration clause.
It's horrible.
Alvarez is the house fighter. They're fighting on the zone. He's got the big contract. So, listen, just do the math. So if I'm Jacobs, and I hope somebody on Jacobs' management team is doing the math and advising him, like, look, to hell with that rehydration clause. Pay the fine. Go knock this man out. You're in the driver's seat. And you'll make all that money back and then some. And if I were Jacobs, that's exactly what the hell I would do.
It's $1 million.
Oh, and listen, one other thing. Well, listen, what's $1 million when if you beat the man, guarantee rematch?
It's a big if.
And a bigger cut.
It's a big if. You said yourself.
Well,
I mean, look, if he's going to, you said Canelo by robbery. You don't think they're thinking the same thing? Do you think they're thinking they're going to get a fair shake over there?
Listen, if you knock the man out at that point, it becomes a move. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is go knock the man out. Now I realize it's easier said than done, but if you forego this whole bullshit rehydration clause business, or knocking the man out now becomes that much easier. Instead of having to kill yourself for this stupid rehydration clause with De La Hoya and his dildos and his fishnets. Come on, man, stop with that bullshit. Stop. I mean, I'm so sick of this shit, man. When can boxing just get back to boxing and we just never mind with this bullshit, okay? Just never mind.
Wow.
But just, look, it is what it is. I'm picking Alvarez by robbery. One other thing I want to touch on real quick, Gennady Golovkin. And I just have one question. If the world has been misspelling your name all this time, why in the hell did it take you this long to correct the spelling of your name? What is that shit about?
Yeah.
And I pose that question to the panel, and everyone is listening, and I'll leave you guys with that.
All right. Babe, do you know what he's talking about? What did I miss here?
I don't know. What's he talking about?
Fight Doctor, explain what you said. They're spelling his name wrong, or he came out and said they're spelling the name wrong. What did I miss here?
Okay, so apparently, all right. So his name up to this point has been spelled Gennady, and apparently the correct spelling of his name is Gennady.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's honestly. I don't think that's a huge deal. I think that's and I don't know the story or whatever, and I can't speak on the story and what he said, but I think that's more along the lines of, you got to think about it. I mean, most people know him as Triple G anyway, for marketing and stuff like that. I think that's what that is. I don't think it's any major deal. It's just for marketing purposes. I think as promoters.
Well, I mean.
Handlers and everything like that is just marketing.
Well, I mean, well, at the end of the day, I agree. It's not. I mean, listen, a lot of fighters have changed their name.
Sure.
Have used stage names. Like, for instance, Rocky Marciano, excellent example. Rocky Marciano is not actually his last name. Marciano's last name is some shit that's almost unpronounceable, and he shortened it to Marciano.
Yeah.
Just so, it rolls off the tongue easier than his actual last name. So this is nothing new to boxing. Okay, lots of guys have changed their name or used fake names or whatever. But like Joe Louis, another example. Okay, Joe Louis is not his last name. His last name is actually Barrow. But Joe Louis sounds better than Joe Barrow, right?
Yeah.
So it's nothing new. But my question is, Joe Louis towards the end of his career didn't all of a sudden start talking about, no. My name is not Joe Louis anymore. My name is Joe Louis Barrow. He didn't do that. So you've been Gennady, Gennady Golovkin for the vast majority of your professional career. All of a sudden, now you want to change your name? I mean, I just don't get. Listen, the Gennady Golovkin Little G Express, from what I can see, is it has been derailed because I don't think this man has recovered from the beating Alvarez put on him back in September. So I'll let you guys marinate on that, and I'm out.
All right. Thank you so much, Fight Doctor. Always got
great point
here.
Great point.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, look at John. Remember John Cougar? Changed his name to John Cougar Mellencamp because Mellencamp apparently was his real name or whatever. It's the spelling of his name. I don't think that's a major thing. I don't think that's anything, I don't think that's anything too outlandish, and for marketing purposes, you can understand why they did it, right? I mean,
well, did he come out and say that he wants to change his name back to what it was, or I mean, I think that was the Fight Doctor's point.
I mean, so what if he does though? I mean, what's the big deal? You know what I mean?
I
don't think it's a big deal either way.
I'll get over it. I mean, but it's kind of weird.
So Earthquake in the chat said, "How come nobody ever talks about Canelo's knee brace?"
Oh shit! Oh my God! Thank you for bringing that up. That is a horror. I never like to see that in a fighter training with a knee brace. That's a telltale sign that knee is going to get worse and worse. Sergio Martinez, case in point. Andre Ward, case in point. But Andre Ward was smart because he had some damage in his knee. Yeah, he had a reconstructed ACL. And I don't care what anyone says. When you have that reconstruction, it's still never going to be back to the way it was. Never will. So Andre Ward made a very intelligent point. He said, "You know what? I don't wear the knee brace because I don't want to advertise to people that I have a weakness." So obviously, when you do have a bad knee, I have two bad knees, and I will be very honest with you. The only one good thing that brace does do is it creates warmth in the area, which helps with inflammation. But in terms of therapeutic value, it does nothing. It does nothing because when you take that brace off and your workout is done, a couple hours later your knee's going to hurt you. So I think Alvarez tore a meniscus in there, and he probably got a debridement done. But I got bad news for Alvarez fans. Once you tear a meniscus and you get the debridement, it's a deficient joint, and it doesn't sit well. So it's going to be worn down, in that portion of where the piece was taken out, and it's going to constantly wear down over time, and it's going to rub up against it, and you're going to get little bits and pieces of it floating around in your knee, and you're probably going to have to get it scoped later, and eventually it's going to get worse and worse. It's not going to get better, and that's going to have an effect on him because when you're doing boxing workouts and you're twisting and pivoting that knee all the time, and you're doing jump rope and you're running, it's not good for someone who has knee damage, because I can't even, I don't run anymore. I do everything I do is walk. I walk and I do the elliptical, and I do the recumbent bike.
Right.
I don't do anything. And I told you that day, I went out dancing with this girl, and she had me doing all this crazy shit, and we danced for 2 hours. And the first hour
salsa.
The first hour I felt great, but the second hour she's like, "Why don't you stop picking up the pace a little bit, change your steps a little bit?" Because I was kind of grooving a little bit, weaving back and forth. I wasn't doing a lot of leg movement, but she had me doing that salsa, and I was skipping around and shit. The next day, my knees felt horrible, and they ached for like a week, because just your knees can't do what they once did once you have that damage done to them. You have to be careful on the impact you do, and the twisting and the turning and the pivoting. So yeah, that's a great point. I was thinking about that too, and that I wonder how that's going to affect him. I don't know if that's going to affect him now, but in about 2 or 3 years, that could affect him. That could affect him.
Yeah, I don't talk about it much because I think it's a non-factor. I think it's a non-factor. He's looked great in his fights. I think he's had it on for a few fights now. No, I don't think it's a big factor at all. I really don't.
Okay.
Did you take Lois dancing?
Why do you have to entertain that kid?
I'm asking.
Why do you have to entertain that kid?
I'm just asking questions. You know, this is what the people want to know.
Lois is my employee. I do not fraternize with the help.
Is that right? I'm just saying.
I don't fraternize with the help.
Do you let the air out of her at night, or do you just... is that
Stop making fun of her! She's a human being!
People want to know, man. People want to know, you know?
I mean, she's in charge of human resources. And when you had that little incident, she looked the other way for you, and you're still talking trash about her.
When I had that little incident, she
You're still talking trash about her. I'm not going to get into what you did, but you're still talking trash about her after she went to bat for you. Can't believe it.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's what the people want to know. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm just saying. You know, I'm just asking questions, man. People want to know these things. People want to know.
I'll have you know that Beeb does not dance like a robot. I had a lot of people surrounding me that night. I felt like John Travolta that night.
Probably because he was having a heart attack in the middle of a dance.
Even the girl said, you know what she said? She goes, "Wow, all these guys are around you," because they saw the Beeb. The Beeb was really on point that night. Maybe too on point. That's why he hurt his knees. I know you told me not to go, Lois. I know you said that, but I know.
You were on point. That's why you hurt your knees. I would say you were probably off point. That's why you hurt your knees.
Well, my knees were off point, I guess.
Your knees were off point.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, did you see that?
Did you have a return date with this girl that you went out dancing with?
Oh, after my knees got hurt, I said I'm not gonna get with this girl again.
Yeah.
I met this girl on Zeus, that Zeus gap I was telling you about.
Zeus.
Yeah, man, you meet some winners on there, I'll tell you.
What is that one place where you can meet a lot of chicks on? What is it? They're supposed to be like your type or whatever too. Like you pick them out or.
Oh, eHarmony.
Is that what it is? Is that it's either? I thought it was Match or something like that. Or you're saying?
Oh, Match.com. Match.com's pretty good too. They say.
Is that where you like fill out that form and like some people were getting like turned down on the form? They got like millions of people. And like this dude would fill out like they were talking about him filling out like this form and he got rejected.
Oh really? I didn't know they did that.
Straight up loser, son. Could you imagine if you get rejected on a dating app? Think about that. Like think about that for a minute. Like if you get rejected on a dating app, like after you fill out like whatever, I guess they got a questionnaire for you to fill out or whatever, and you just get rejected. They just said, no, there's nobody here for you. And they got billions of customers.
Wow.
What a loser you must feel like, man. That's cold-blooded.
Imagine if someone like Fabio went on that app.
Oh, he clean up, right?
Imagine.
Can you imagine him cleaning up?
That's crazy.
Dale in Chi-Town says grinder. What's grinder?
Oh, when you dance, you're grinding? You ever grind on a girl?
What's the matter with you? It's a family show.
I'm sorry. When you dance, remember that song? That song by Mad Cobra. Flex, time to have sex. That's when you get that. That's when you get up and you do that little grind with the hips and stuff. Get on like this.
What's the matter with you?
Flex, time to have sex.
No. Apparently, Kabir just said that Grindr is like Tinder for gays.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Oh no. Well, I don't want to be disrespectful to the LGBT community, but for me, that's not my cup of tea.
Oh, you double your wardrobe.
Oh my God.
Just saying.
Look,
It's something you ought to consider, you know?
Oh no! Stop it! You're killing me tonight.
Look, I mean, you're not having any luck on the Tinder app or whatever you're doing now, or Zeus. Is that what you were doing, Zeus?
Yeah.
Maybe hey, why not? Go ahead.
Lois, it's okay, Lois. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to file a complaint against him. Don't worry. It's okay.
As we speak. All right.
Stop making fun of her.
What's going on in the chat? Between Jake Cleary and Dogman. Dogman's in there writing DAZN every 5 minutes, and then Jake Cleary's doing the same thing, DAZN.
Oh, they're trying to bust Jason's balls, I think.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can criticize DAZN if you want, but I don't know why people would hate the app. It's not how could you hate the app?
Well, I will tell you this: that the app was going in and out.
Today it was
the way in today, but I was driving home from downtown too. So
no, my app started buffering. I had to what I had to do was I had to get out and go back in.
I know when I hook it up to either the PlayStation or the Xbox, it's perfect.
Oh, Jason wants to call in. He said,
"So call in."
Call in.
Oh, anchor tied to you, son. Go ahead and call in.
Call in, Jason. You little bastard.
Come on, man, because we're gonna cut this out. So let's go. If you're calling in, call in.
It's Friday night. Come on, call in. Hurry up.
It's Friday. He's got nothing to do. What's he care?
Go on Facebook. What's happening to the earthquake? What's personal? Who's taking shots at the earthquake?
What's going on with the earthquake? Time to nut up or shut up. Huh.
Wow.
Earthquake's irritated with somebody.
All right, he said he's on right now. 706.
706. Jason, you're live.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hi, Jason.
Dude, even their YouTube stream was crashing. What was up with that? Because I remember when Floyd and Connor fought, the Showtime stream had 600,000-700,000 people live, and the DAZN YouTube channel only had 20,000 people live, and this shit was glitchy. What's up with that?
I don't know.
YouTube,
I read the same thing because I
it?
went to YouTube at one point.
I'm gonna tell.
They have so many dislikes.
I'm gonna tell you
that's absolutely why.
They're not as good as ESPN Plus when it comes to quality. I don't know.
He's right. You know what? Dale in Chi-Town
Showtime had
just said that DAZN on the Fire Stick or the phone looks great. It lags on a desktop or laptop, and he's right. It does.
But I use my Chromecast.
Most people use laptops, right? Good. Most people use laptops for that.
No, most people use the phone.
I would use my laptop because I'm always on my laptop.
Yeah, but most people Chromecast it to their television set.
So I guess YouTube was just picking up their actual screen. That's why it was glitchy. It was because I don't think it had anything to do with YouTube. YouTube never glitches like that. It was bad.
YouTube was pretty good.
You could barely see any parts of it. Yeah, they had fucking 500,000 people live for the Mayweather Smack one. I mean, if they're having issues with 20,000 people, 30,000 people watching live, imagine the fucking fight night. That's just way more glitchier. So you guys better.
When that thing was buffer, When that thing was buffering today, the first thing I said to myself was, I hope this shit does not fucking happen tomorrow night. I will be so pissed. The ESPN
when
Plus.
I used to call in and talk about
ESPN Plus has a much better stream, much better quality.
Too. I really do.
The picture, you can see the picture.
Because
picture's way better too.
Yeah. When I used to call in and tell you guys about DAZN sucks, like that account on Twitter, that's what it always said, that their quality is always bad. Whenever you see big NFL games and it's time for a big game, it's always fucking glitchy. So that means that they didn't spend that much money developing the software. They're just spending money on marketing and fucking buying the leagues and shit. Disney actually spent money on a really good app.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they did it. So this is like a trap. I'm telling you. So just be careful. When you realize that it's always going to be glitchy like that. I don't know. What do all the big fights glitch for you guys? Like AJ versus Povetkin.
AJ got a little. Rocky? I'll tell you the story now. I told Eric this, and I watched it on my tablet. I was over somebody's house, and I brought my iPad. So I just watched the fight on the tablet. And the whole undercard was beautiful. Then when it got to the AJ fight, every now and then the picture would get grainy. It would get grainy.
Jumping on, yep.
Yeah, it would get grainy. Yeah, it fucked up. So
that means their bandwidth isn't built for amount of viewers they're getting on main events. They're just not spending enough money on that shit, But the bigger apps, ESPN probably did spend. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely what's going on. Did you see Canelo, man? He got mad for no reason. And also Jacobs, he shouldn't have headbutted him like that. It was a weak headbutt, but he shouldn't have done that.
No,
that was also not professional. There was nothing.
Cut somebody, man.
If you guys remember fucking Floyd versus Cotto, that was a really intense way, and you guys should watch that. That was probably the last really good one. Like Floyd kept whispering to Cotto, "Now you're fucking with the best. You never fucked with the best before." And Cotto was like, "I am the best. I am the best." Shit was fucking intense. They didn't push each other though. They were each other's face. All these fucking security guards get in the middle. I hate that shit. In the UFC, they let them fucking do it for a little bit, At least they let them push each other. In the boxing, they're too fucking careful. I don't like that. All these fucking Nevada Athletic Commission people in the middle like idiots. Everybody. Eddie was like fucking grinning. I think maybe just on. Go ahead.
The easiest way to cut somebody is with a headbutt or an elbow. You know what I mean? That's the easiest way to cut somebody's face. And when you let them touch like that, it's just like you're just asking for trouble because they're already in a bad mood. Weigh-in days, everybody's in a bad mood, And if you let them come together like that close, put their hands on each other, put their body on each other, you're just asking for trouble. And one quick
that Mexican chick, Claudia Trejo, Canelo said, "Chinga tu madre." He said, "Fuck that motherfucker," or something like that. He was really pissed. I don't think you want to make Canelo. You don't want to make Canelo mad. Jacobs is not. I've never rated Jacobs. People think he's like a super fight. I don't think it's really a super fight based on his skills and his popularity. I don't think Jacobs is special. I don't think he's better than GGG. I don't think he beat GGG. Some people think. I don't know why. But he's struggled against fucking Arias for a few rounds and even Selecki. If you're gonna struggle with guys like that, I'm not gonna give you a chance to beat Canelo ever. I don't think he has a chance of beating Canelo. He'll probably start out strong. Canelo, Canelo always starts out slow, a couple of rounds. He'll give him a couple of rounds just to feel him out. He's kind of trying to be like that Mayweather, try to dodge some punches, but then he's going to start with the body shots, and I don't think Jacobs is going to be able to take him. He loses a lot of weight, I think he probably loses more weight than Canelo, dude, because he looked fucking drained. His face looked drained. His body looked sunk in and shit. But he did look. He's always shredded. So. What do you guys think about the undercard? Jojo Diaz and Fonseca, that got kind of heated the other day. They pushed each other too.
Yeah, what was
Fonseca,
up with that?
That's the other Fonseca. Is he his brother? Is he the Fonseca that Tank fought? His brother? He's a different Fonseca, right? Remember the Tank fought Fonseca on Mayweather McGregor's undercard?
I do, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
He fought some Fonseca guy. It's probably. Also, fucking Kevin Farmer came up and confronted Jojo Diaz. I guess they're going to fight next. I hope they do. What do you guys think about Haney versus Campbell, July 27th?
What's that?
That will be on. He should get he should get his own main event, man. He was getting main events on Showtime. Why isn't he going to get his own main event on DAZN?
He will.
Fucking the card.
He will.
Fucking.
You think about Devin Haney signing with DAZN?
He will, but that's. Yeah. The presser was kind of janky that Eddie held in the fucking hotel. Did you see that presser they had? like a tiny ass table. It looked kind of weird.
It's a card table.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
It was like the table they put out on Sunday after church.
It was like a TV table. It was like a TV tray.
Like a table they put outside after church for the donuts on Sunday.
Yeah, I know. It was like a tiny ass table, and one of the guy's legs was sticking out of the socket.
Yeah, that was kind of. That was.
And he is so full of himself. Did you watch his new interview with Coogan? He was talking about. He was just like joking around with Coogan. He's like, Coogan, guys are coming up to me in America, like talent scouts telling me, Eddie, you're a superstar. You should sign with us, do some Calvin Klein modeling. This guy is so full of himself, man. I think he just wants to be famous more than anything. And he always says, I'm not going to be in boxing long term. So I always think like he's just trying to be as famous as he can, trying to get as much fame and money, and just fucking dip. That's why I don't really trust Eddie. There's no love for boxing there for him. He's just a fucking greedy ass fucking dude that wants to make as many millions of pounds and leave. At least guys like Bob Arum, King, they stuck around their whole lives. I don't think Eddie's kind of like that. He'll be gone in a few years, I think. He's just trying to be like a celebrity in fucking UK and shit.
No, I don't think so. I think he'll be around for a long time. He grew up in this.
I swear to God, dude. Every interview he said, I'm not in this for the long term. Haven't you heard him say that to Coogan like many times? You never seen him?
It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, he's been around this since he was a kid.
He always says that.
He's been around this since he was a kid.
He's only been promoting like 8-9 years now. He's only been promoting 8-9 years. And also his dad. You guys know his dad blocked what's his name? Fucking James Toney and Eubank. That used to be the potential biggest fight of those times, and that never happened because Barry never let fucking Eubank leave UK.
What about that comment his dad made? Did you hear that comment his dad made?
What was
I didn't think it was racist, but I don't think it was racist, but that's just why Heyman is so fucking popular with fighters. I mean, that's the main reason why Heyman has all this power, because fighters don't want to be tied down. Like even Dylan White, he's not tied down to them. He doesn't want to have a long-term contract. Guys like Nike, fucking Andy Ruiz, they just left.
He said back in the day.
He said the new times are not like the old times. In the back in the day, these guys used to be on slave contracts when I used to be in charge. Now I have to call Dylan White Sir Dylan White, Mr. Dylan White.
But he also said we used to be. He goes, we used to be slave traders back in the day.
Slave traders, yeah.
That's horrible. I mean, that was horrible.
Bob Arum still acts like that. I mean, look at how he fucking acts. Look at how he's like talking about him, and he's a fucking scamster. What the fuck, dude? These guys are so bitter. Like every time I read these comments, they're like, "Oh, Heyman robbed these Wall Street people." They act like people don't go to Wall Street and pick up billions of dollars every day and don't drain it. Like I read financial news all the time, and I read about companies losing billions of dollars every day that Wall Street lends to them, and they're acting like this is the first time somebody got money from Wall Street. They're like, "Oh, he scammed those Wall Street people." People scam Wall Street every day to get them to invest in bullshit ass companies. Like, come on, huh?
Wall Street scams people too. So hey, it all works out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wall Street are the biggest fucking scammers. They scam the hardest working people, like all their mortgages, all the fucking what do you call it? That Social Security fucking money. They rob all that shit. So people just trying to fucking demonize people. I guess that's what Arum was trying to do. Heyman gets a lot of hate, man. He's been getting a lot of hate. Oscar was like, "Oh yeah, Heyman is the only one that's trying to make his fight," and I was like, "Dude, Heyman just made Gary Russell versus WWE last year. That's your fighter. I mean, these guys have no conscience about lying, So that's why you never really get any fights, because they're always bashing each other. If they shut up for 1 second, they might make a fight.
Yeah.
You guys watch? All right, I'll let you guys get to the next call. Because where's Robert at? Where's Robbie? He's fucking quiet without Robbie, man.
all of a sudden he likes Robbie, but then when Robbie's here, all he does is make fun of him.
Robbie brings that conflict,
Robbie brings.
No, you just want someone to bully. That's what you want.
Well, we know he didn't watch the weigh-in. We know he didn't watch.
I don't bully Robbie, man.
The fight yet tomorrow, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
it's on YouTube. You should watch that shit. It's showing fucking everything's on YouTube. But Beeb, give me my wrench back so I can fucking time these guys up. They're destroying the chat with DAZN. Like they've said it 500 times.
Yeah, what's going on?
They need to get 1 or 2 timeouts. That's the only people, I don't know.
Until
give me my wrench back.
Well, until DAZN becomes a friggin' an expletive, we're not going to ban these people for saying DAZN.
Not banned, Beeb. Time out for 90 seconds. That's not banned.
Why are we gonna time them out for saying an app's name.
So the chat doesn't get filled with the zone, babe. So the chat doesn't get filled with the zone. Everybody's comments don't get blocked. You know, like nobody's comments can be seen. All you see is the zone.
Look at
That's not good for the chat.
Look at the derogatory comments that you were putting in the chat. The slurs and the
What did I say?
all the not today, but back at you lost your wrench because of all the stuff you used to say.
I never said. I just said you took out your blow up doll for a day. That's all I said. Don't be picking on me.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you used to do all that the homophobic stuff you used to say in the chat and some of the stuff you used to say in the chat.
Babe, you know there are people like that. Babe, listen. You know there are people like that. I've seen like a news show on Vice News. You know the Vice News YouTube channel? There's some dude that lives with his blow up dolls in Japan or something. You should check it out. It's a funny ass show.
Some what? A dude what?
Some dude in Japan, like they did a special on him, like video segments on Vice News. He lives with his blow-up doll, like 30 of them.
If Lois
he was living with his blow-up doll.
If Lois ends up quitting because of the abuse,
yeah, like because of the abuse, dude, he had like the whole collection in his house. They're everywhere.
If Lois ends up quitting because of all the abuse you guys are giving her, it's going to be on your head, your conscience.
That name is trash. You need a new name, Lois.
Yeah.
What kind of name is that? That's like a fucking lady from Titanic. That was like a 100-year-old lady.
Leave her alone. That's her name. Don't disrespect her name.
His new blow-up doll is gonna be named Maud.
Give her some nice name like Carmen or Pamela or something. Give her some cool name. Come on,
Did you say
dude.
Pamela?
Shit.
Fuck is
Pamela Anderson from Baywatch. I was just watching Baywatch the other day out of nowhere.
Oh,
Cool.
no.
Pamela.
What'd you say?
Pamela. Doesn't she still have Hep C?
Pamela.
I don't know what she has.
I don't know.
Man, I'm not messing with.
I don't even know what Hep C is really. I don't even know what that is. What is Hep C? I don't even know.
It's like a blood disease. It's hepatitis.
I haven't researched that
C.
enough.
It's like a blood thing.
A blood-borne illness, you goofball.
Yeah. She's probably got gonorrhea. Didn't even know.
I don't know. I don't even know what that is. I just know the name. I don't really know what it does to you. I don't.
You
I
don't know
really
what
don't. I haven't
gonorrhea
looked into
is?
shit like that. Maybe you do. I mean, I've heard of it. I haven't like looked into like what it exactly does to you. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Not really.
Wow.
All right, guys. This
Right,
shit
man.
is
Take some penicillin, dude.
fucking. DAZN is the gonorrhea of boxing. DAZN's the gonorrhea of boxing. That's
Take
all
some
I know. That's all
penicillin,
I
bro.
know.
Go read a biology. Go read a biology book. You freaking get educated.
Oh my goodness. How do we?
He's
go
crying.
from-
He's crying because all the people are putting DAZN in the chat. So what? What's wrong with DAZN? It's an app. It's not like a friggin'. It's not a swear. It's not a derogatory.
It's better than putting Eric is stupid at the in the.
I
chat,
know.
you know?
Remember the stuff he used to say in there?
Now he's doing it.
They got you triggered in the chat, huh? They got him triggered.
Goodness.
They got him triggered. There's no going back now.
All right, guys. With that, we're going to end the show. But now tomorrow, Beeb, you want to go live after the fight, right?
Correct.
All right, so we're going to do a live show right after the fight tomorrow. So look for us there. We'll do a live show, a live fight recap, and everything like that. So that'll be good. So yeah, man, it should be fun, man. It should be a fun fight for sure. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter, and we will catch you tomorrow.